Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of Antalya in Turkey. Now, my map doesn't demarcate the districts of Turkey, so I have to draw them in. Which this one's kind of funny because it's just a big swamp. But it's not that smooth. But, I approximate. I'm not a cartographer. It's not that smooth because this area is very mountainous. The Taurus Mountains dominate this area down here in southern Turkey, in Anatolia. So the border goes through the mountain peaks up here. And a bit over here too. But down here you can see the beautiful, beautiful Mediterranean coastline. One of the most beautiful beachy areas in the world. The Mediterranean. And that's where we find the main city of Antalya right here. Very opportune spot. Lots of rivers come down from these mountains and create a very gorgeous, gorgeous landscape. But we're going to look at those on Google Earth after I talk about the history of this area here. So the first cultures that would have lived here would have been of Greek origin. Many ancient Greek peoples living along the coast here in Anatolia. In this region in particular, a large migration came over after the Trojan War, according to Herodotus. And that kind of Greek influence is still kind of there, but that's a very tricky statement to make about a Turkish city. You have to be kind of careful about that wording. But I mean, there are still some islands along here that belong to Greece. You can even see Rhodes right here, which is part of Greece. So it's kind of that, I want to say like that Greek mindset. Not so much modern Greek, but that ancient Greek of appreciating nature and learning and kind of like togetherness, I suppose, from what I can tell from my research at least. You cannot say that this area is very Greek nowadays. But we're not going to go into that. If you want to know, you can watch more of my videos about Greece and Turkey. But I want to talk about one of these early Greek areas that is right here. It's called Xanthos. And it was part of a kingdom called Lycia. And we're going to talk about it because it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So let me pull out my tablet. We can read about it. The angle's very strange, but it is what it is. We're going to read about Xanthos. Apparently, Latoon is also part of this site, but we're going to talk about Xanthos. This site, which was the capital of Lycia, illustrates the blending of Lycian traditions and Hellenic influence, that means Greek, especially in its funerary art. The epigraphic inscriptions are crucial for our understanding of the history of the Lycian people and their Indo-European language. Not a very long description, but we can look at some cool pictures here of what is left of this site. We'll look at it more on Google Earth because it's so fantastic from above, but there's a neat Colosseum there too. And look at this picture. Oops. Of course my tablet tries to flip. The incredible writing that these people had. How neat is that? You can see a little bit of Greek, you can see a little bit of Phoenician influence to make their language. Lycia is also interesting in that it was the first country, government, what have you, to have a democratic constitution. See now, you think it was America, but no, it it was Lycia over here in southern Turkey. How interesting is that? Eventually, that would morph into an area called Pamphylia, which would have started more over here but slowly expanded. That was taken over by the Lydians. The Lydians were conquered by the Achaemenid Persians. The Achaemenid Persians were conquered by Alexander the Great. And following Alexander in this region was the Seleucid dynasty led by one of Alexander's generals, which would eventually be conquered by a kingdom called Pergamon, which was centered more north, kind of around up here somewhere along the coast, but they would take over. And it was a king of Pergamon that founded the city of Antalya, because his name was like Antilius or something like that. But when the last king of Pergamon died, he left his land to the Romans. So the Romans took over this area, which would seg into the Byzantine Empire, the Eastern Roman Empire. The Arabs would come in the 1800s, I think, and that started a very long back and forth between the Byzantine and Western European powers and the various Arab powers jostling for control of this area. It would really come to a head during the Crusades. This was a big landing area during the Second and Third Crusades. Even Richard the Lionheart docked here, I think, in the Third Crusade. It would eventually boil down to being like the Byzantines versus the Seljuk Turks. It was kind of the last Muslim dynasty standing in this area. But that would, of course, give way to the Ottomans taking over in 1432, and they were there to stay for quite a long time. There was no back and forth with the Ottomans in this part of the world. Not for a very long time. But, no empire can last forever, and the Ottoman Empire completely crumpled up during World War I. Now, the Allied powers, after the Ottoman Empire collapsed, were very excited to gobble up all this Ottoman land and divide it amongst themselves, and they gave this area to Italy. The Italians came in 1918, I believe, but that was not to last, because the Turkish independence movement would sweep Anatolia, led by, of course, by Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, and they would take over the area 1921 when they declared their independent nation of Turkey. This area has bloomed ever since. It was always very popular. You have the beautiful beaches and the beautiful weather and honestly the beautiful everything. But it wasn't until independent Turkey became a thing that the metro area really, really grew, and a big tourist movement grew here. For people who want to enjoy Turkish culture, but also to enjoy the fabulous Mediterranean coast. It still is, of course, a big tourist site today. And why don't I show you what there is to do in this town? Let me pull up Google Earth here. Let me close UNESCO and pull up Google Earth. There we go. So here you can see a much better detail of what this district is actually shaped like. It's not perfectly round, but if you had to draw it, it's very crescent moon shaped. Let me zoom out so we can see exactly where we are in the world. Here we go. So here's Turkey. We've got Greece right over there. The beautiful Mediterranean. Cyprus is also not too far away. During that back and forth period between Byzantine control and various Arab tribes, Seljuk Turk control, Cyprus actually came in and invaded at one point. that is where we are. This beautiful little corner here of the Mediterranean. Let's check out Antalya. There are lots of sights to see here. We're going to start off, of course, in the Archaeological Museum. So many incredible statues. I was oohing and awing at some of these because they are just so... Let me get you closer to this one. This looks like, this looks like Athena. It's so pretty. I think it is. They have little captions, but you can't zoom in on Google Earth anymore. It's a beautiful sarcophagus. Let me try to there we go. You can see the full detail. Very Zeus looking guy there. Look at that. Let me see. His face has seen better days, surely, but really, really just beautiful statues here, left over from that Greek and probably from Roman times, right? That's a Roman guy for sure. Look how beautiful. So this is, I can zoom in like this. Maybe not. Does that say? What does it say? I still can't read it. But, it's one of the goddesses for sure. Maybe there's a better picture. Oh, look at the pretty icons too from Byzantine times. Another, looks like another tomb for these guys up here. Probably husband and wife. This is definitely Hecate, the triple goddess. Oh, beautiful coast. Some more amazing statues. This is Aphrodite. I can read that one. And another cool tomb. Just really neat museum. I could spend a long time in here looking at these super cool statues. But the big archaeological site to see in Antalya is somewhere around here. Yep. Nope, that's not it. It's right here, but Google's not telling me what it is. I'm trying so hard to impress you that I actually found something. Here we go. Hadrian's Gate. So this really cool archway was built when Emperor Hadrian visited. It's still very well preserved. And it's like, you know, if you want to come see some ancient rooms in Antalya, you come here to this super cool archway. You can see the little neighborhood it's into, the very old cobbled streets looking straight up in the arch. Little mosque there. A kitty cat. Because we're in Turkey, lots of feral cats. Pigeons. Some cool modern art depicting probably what life was like in this corner of town back then. Yeah, this is a popular spot to take pictures too. I saw this alleyway in all kinds of like tourist videos and Instagram pictures. But yeah, here comes the tram. Watch out. Let's look at a beach real quick before I show you something really cool, but we gotta find a beach. Let's find a cool beach. Let me zoom out a bit. Oh, I'm going the wrong way probably. Hello. Are you a beach? It looks like a beach. That's a beach. Let's look at this beach park. That looks beautiful from above. Here we go. Beach. This is what people come here for. To enjoy this warm water and the amazing air and the cool breeze off the sea and drinking some tea. It looks like a wet night there. Just enjoying the beautiful weather, some of the most beautiful weather in the whole world. Very, very ideal place to go on vacation, especially if you have a family, because you can't really go wrong with a beach family vacation, right? So nice. A lot of fun. Now I want to show you one last place in Antalya that I thought was very, very beautiful. But I gotta find it first. Look how big this town is too. It's a whopper of a city. Over here. Let me see. Over here somewhere. Here we go. So these are the Duden waterfalls. So the Duden River runs through the city and it ends here on these cliffs and creates some remarkable waterfalls. There's another one inland that I'll show you, but big old waterfall crashing out into the Mediterranean. That's so pretty, isn't it? Oh, that is just lovely. And you can do boat tours to go look at it. Or you could just hike to it. But it is very, very lovely. Let's look at the inland ones, because the inland ones are almost just as cool. Let's follow the river up through the city to find the big waterfall. There it is. So yeah, there's the coast ones, and here's the inland ones, which are in this really pretty little cove. One tourist video I saw described it as like Fern Gully, like it's almost magical with all of the overgrown plants, a little forest around it. It looks so nice. And lots of people that I saw reviewing these waterfalls. That was my tummy. Reviewing these waterfalls, not these guys, but humans. Couldn't really decide which waterfall they liked best. They're both so beautiful. That's really neat. Alright, let's head out of the city. Check out these mountains. Now there are all kinds of really cool mountain slideshows. I encourage you to go look at them. They're all very beautiful, but I'm going to show you my favorite one, which is this one. Now I was thinking, like, this slideshow is so pretty. The only other like prettier mountains I found in my series was in the Hellbores in Iran, I think. I think this is second place for most beautiful mountain slideshow. Look at these. Look how pretty this melting snow along the mountains. Do you see this? Oh, it is stunning. Like if this was a painting, I would be like, well, that doesn't look very real. It's so pretty. And you've got all these cool rocks to hike on. And then, of course, you know, in the spring and summer, it just explodes with green. Look how beautiful. Sheepies. Oh, it's so pretty in the snow. I don't know which one I like better. Do I like all the beautiful green flowers? Do I like the rocky landscapes like this? Or do I like the snowy landscapes like that guy? I think they're all so beautiful. That couch just must be sitting up there, because how do you bring a couch on your motorcycle? Look at the pretty flowers. The horizon there is so lovely. Oh, the sunrise and the sunsets here must be so unreal, right? Look at that. That's like the rocks are glowing. And getting a family portrait, it looks like, in this village. I love it. But like I said, there are all kinds of mountainy slideshows around here, and I highly encourage you to go check them out. But we are going to end our slideshow in Xanthos. I have to find the town that it's in. It's over here. It's Xanthos. So here you can see all that's left of this ancient city. Can you see? roads and buildings, and of course, a little coliseum there. So let's end this on a slideshow of Santos. If that little caption could pop back up, that'd be great. There we go. Hello. There. I can see more in detail. I love these towers that are still there. What's left of these columns down here? They're very rubbly. There's the little arena there. And Turkey, for most of Turkey, is very earthquake prone, very seismically active. So I'm sure that earthquakes haven't been kind to these ancient ruins. But there's still so much to see and explore here. I wonder how much you're allowed to run around in these. Probably not here, because here it's all wet. But oh, how pretty from a distance. Very cool how all the arches are all pretty much still intact, right? Very cool. So, that is all that I have to show you tonight. Those are my favorite slideshows from this area. I did find one other that was kind of fun over in Antalya. I guess I'll end it on that one, if I can find it. That's not Antalya, is it? No. I dropped a pin in the water. Oh my gosh. It's up there. We were way off. I wonder, it wasn't popping up when I was scrolling around, so I wonder if I'm not going to be able to find it. Maybe not. I was combing the coastline here, it wasn't appearing, so. Yeah, it's not here. Oh well. No, I'm gonna find it, I'm determined. Or we could just look at the aquarium to end it. Why don't we do that? That's more interesting. Let's end this on the aquarium. How pretty. Wow. Oh yeah, this was neat. There is a sign somewhere in here that says it's something like the longest underwater tunnel in an aquarium. Uh-oh, Poseidon is coming. But thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this style of content, please consider subscribing, or else you're gonna look like this guy. Yeah, world's biggest tunnel aquarium. How cool is that? Next, we're going to head over to something quite different. We're going to go to Colombia and see some really cool slideshows there too. So if you like this, you're going to love that video, so be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out. I hope that you found this video relaxing and educational, and I hope that you have a good